Hey everybody, this is Chris from Sorcerer. You're watching CMS TV. Metal.
It's our good friends Red Rain right here on your classic metal show from I think this is just a single. I don't know if they're going to include this on their forthcoming release or not. Just yesterday's, and they're busy putting up the final touches on their new forthcoming EP. I guess it's yeah. What's considered an EP and what's considered an LP?
I don't know anymore. I don't know because it's all. I guess it just depends on how the label releases it and prices it. I guess because
I thought it was like the number of songs. Like an EP, like only has like 4 or 5 songs, and an LP, which is long play.
Well, sometimes, but then you get like 9 Inch Nails has EPs that are like 60 minutes long.
Well, how many songs are
like 10?
Oh, okay. And they call that an EP?
They call it an EP. They just price it differently.
Extended play?
Yeah, they just price it differently. So,
okay.
But then you got like Rob Zombie. His last album, I think, was 33 minutes. Is that an EP or is that an LP?
I don't know. I thought maybe, a shorter album that has maybe 5 songs might be considered an EP.
Well, that's what I always thought it was too, but it definitely seems like it's just morphed to whatever the fuck they call it.
Okay. Well, I know that Red Rain, they're putting the final touches on what will be their next release.
Yeah. There we go.
How's that?
That works.
Whether you call it an EP or an LP or whatever. Yeah. And Sammy Lee was sharing some of the credits with me, and the artwork and things like that, and of course he threw our names in there, and they spelled your name wrong, and I was just like, well, first of all, you spelled Chris's name wrong. Why is AKIN so difficult to spell?
I don't know.
AKIN.
They all get it wrong. They all add that E in there, and that
or they put that extra I in there, the AIKEN
or ATKIN, ATKINS, AKINS.
It's like AKIN.
It's 4 fucking letters.
Yeah. So
everybody does it.
I correct.
That's the same as your name. Everybody spells your name wrong too without the extra E.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of common spellings out there without the extra E. I've got the 3 E's.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Neelys out there that are only 2 E's, just LY. But for whatever reason, I mean, mine's a little more forgivable in misspelling, I guess. But you got 4 letters, AKIN.
Well, it's hard to check it too. My name's not out there very much.
So I corrected that, and then the big get of their new album is the guest guest guitarist George Lynch.
Spelled George Lunch, right?
No, they didn't.
LUNCH?
No, it wasn't on there at all.
What?
Yeah, I said of all the people that should be on this credits, it's George Lynch. Where's his name? I don't know how we overlooked that.
Yeah, neither do I. Considering you paid a boatload of money to get him in, and then fucking you forget.
Yeah, they forgot to put his name in the album.
Yeah. And meanwhile, that's like the selling point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's like, well, kind of like the focal point of your release is the guest of George Lynch on your record.
Are they able to fix it or no?
Oh yeah. It wasn't. Right. It hadn't gone to press or anything. He was just showing you the layout.
All right.
He says, well, check out the layout, check out the credits, check out this, that, and the other. It was all digital,
Yeah.
So I looked it through and I gave him my critiques on it. And I was just like, yeah, well, first, Chris's name is spelled wrong. You forgot to mention George Lynch.
Yeah,
But
how do you forget George?
I don't know.
That'd be like forgetting to mention Bubba.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
He's like, yeah, good catch. Good catch.
Good catch.
Yeah.
These guys were fishing in a sand trap. What are they doing? How do you not get George Lynch on there when you fucking brought him in to play on your record?
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, from what I've heard, the little snippets that they've released with their little in studio videos and so on. Do you have any of those at all? Can you pull those up at all? The little in studio video things for Red Rain?
Red Rain.
I like the fact that they had the forethought and the foresight to, actually have somebody recording some video of them guys just kind of hanging out and recording at the David Ivory Studios. And to think about it, though, one of your favorite newer bands, Hailstorm, using David Ivory to do their music, to produce their record, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely working with pros. There's no doubt about that.
And the thing is that they're putting their money where their mouth is. And, not only that, but, these guys live in Richmond, Virginia, and they're making the trek up to Pennsylvania, I believe up to York, Pennsylvania area to record with David Ivory.
Yeah.
Which they did with their last EP as well. But the fact that they went back to the well a second time and, working with Ivory, because you could see the backdrop in the studio where it says Ivory Studios, I believe.
Right. Oh. Sorry. Do you want me to play that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Here we go. I didn't mean to cut you off. It just, I pressed to go large and it took off and started playing. All right.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Always crying. You can never tell the truth. Quit your whining. Can't you see you're coming for? I know. You can't go now that you're here. Let me get it on. No peace, no love, no peace. Oh yeah. No love, no peace. Oh, can't you let it go? Oh, just 'cause you don't know. But you're wrong again, wrong again, wrong again.
Look at Sammy Lee sporting the CMS shirt while he's playing his drums.
Apparently, he doesn't have any other clothes but CMS clothing.
There he is, right there in that one picture. What's that little thumbnail there? Can you pull that one up? Yeah. Right. Oh, that's it. That's the same thing you just played, right?
That's a different song.
Oh, this is different. Okay.
Yeah, here's another one.
Open up your eyes and let them see. Open your heart to mine. Let's live our destiny. Now is the time to leave it all behind. Don't you forget to leave those memories far behind. Like we used to do. Don't let it get to you. It's what you need to do. Just keep on feeling alive. We can make it through. Oh, don't let it get to you. It's what you need to do.
Boy, George Lynch playing a lot of notes.
How did you know that was him playing?
Are you kidding?
It's so funny. Yeah. That was the
It's just taking off. That's Mariah.
Yeah, I could.
Oh shit!
Is that Mariah?
Yeah, that's when they were recording their record.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. Well, that was the George Lynch track, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll pull up that Mariah.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No, I haven't. I don't, dude. I don't get scan this shit.
Good luck finding that one, Plush, because they post every fucking day on their Facebook. So I don't know how.
Oh, you know what? The thing is with all digital technology these days and how easy it is to record something on an iPhone or, to upload that. It's pretty cool though to see, these bands documenting their, processes and things.
Sure.
Sort of like letting the fans take a peek
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. Because most people have never been in a recording studio.
Yeah, it's a real ton of fun.
Well, we'll take a look. I mean, just look at that. Look at that board.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that thing's got like 100 tracks on it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you and we've been around this shit for years because like especially like Billy Morris at his, what was the name of his place?
Audio Bay is now current, but
what was the one he called it before?
I don't remember.
But
I don't remember.
He had one of the mixing boards that they had at the Ladyland Studios.
Mm-hmm.
It was down in his basement there at the Hi-Fi.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is I mean, look at that mixing board. Holy shit!
Oh, they're working. That's Johnny K.
Yeah, I know. But how many channels do you think is on that board right there?
Oh shit! Gotta be probably 128, I would think.
Something like that. I mean, but just look at all the, in today's day and age with Pro Tools and everything as it is, obviously anybody can just record whatever it is in their own bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You get like an iMac or something like that.
Sure. And
you can do professional recording all day long, but looking at this setup where Mariah's playing, this is an old school professional studio. I mean, she's got the 5150 heads down there. Look at that. She's playing through the Eddie Van Halen, heads, and it's just a lot of old school hardware and equipment that she's playing through, which that says a lot for getting a certain sound or a certain vibe, I guess.
Sure.
That digital could never bring to you.
That is true.
So it's fun. It's interesting. If you kind of like that kind of stuff and you like to hang out, and if you're kind of a gearhead, or if you enjoy that kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of cool. Yeah, there you go. I agree, Eric.
No kidding.
I agree. But no, I have not seen this at all. So so go ahead.
This is Mariah.
What I think is funny is somebody's shoes are sticking up there.
Yeah, just kicking back while she records.
Of course.
All right, I'm pretty sure this is Champion, the song Champion being recorded. So here we go.
All right, let's see it.
Anyway, that's that.
Well, so for those of you who maybe have never experienced any kind of recording environment. What Mariah's doing there is she's playing her song off of what they call a click track.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you hear. It sounds like, somebody hitting like a wood block or something, but that's just a click track. So she's just playing to the click track, and obviously I don't think she's actually recording anything. She's kind of probably just working out the riffs,
Mm-hmm.
to that beat. Who knows?
I don't know. It sounds pretty much like the song.
But yeah, so it's a process, but you got to definitely be a fan of that kind of stuff. And there you go. There's Phil Lou's asking because Chris Aiken he's got his finger on the pulse of everything plush.
I do. I keep up with what they're doing.
Sure
Although I haven't heard from Mariah in a little bit since I've not heard from her since the TSO tour. But yeah, they do have a new drummer, Faith Powell, who's like 18 years old. She's a fucking monster. Let me see if I can find a video of her, which she's a fucking beast. I mean, she can play. She plays a lot harder than Brooke did.
And what happened to Brooke? Where'd she go?
Let go, I guess. I don't know. I've never actually gotten the story. She was either fired or quit, and I'm thinking fired because at some point I saw somewhere online that somebody asked her what she was getting ready to do, and she made some comment that it wasn't her choice to leave. So,
what do you think the problem was there? Chemistry, getting along with everybody?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And she did seem a little like the other girls seem very like into the whole thing, meeting people, meeting fans. They seem way into it, where Brooke always seemed a little bit kind of like she was off in her own world.
Kind of like a wallflower, huh?
Yeah, kind of. And I don't know that has anything to do with anything. It could have been a business thing. They could have had a fucking contract for X amount of time, and it ran out, and they just decided not to renew it. Maybe they saw this Faith girl, on YouTube or whatever, because I'm sure that's where they found her. She's from Florida, so it's not like she lived near them or something. But could just have been that a contract ran. I don't know. I honestly, and I'm not just saying that, and like I do know, and Mariah told me, but swore me to secrecy or any of that kind of shit. I really don't know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, here's Faith. This is from last week. They played at a military base.
This is the new girl.
Yeah, this is Faith Powell.
Okay.
The new girl.
All right.
And she is a fucking monster. All right, here we go. Not the best example. That's not the best example, but
she doesn't have much of a kit.
Not really, man. She booms. Let me find a better clip where she's just going fucking crazy.
All right.
She really goes. I mean, like she plays really hard. Where that was one of the things I always thought was that Brooke didn't play very hard. And this Faith girl, I mean, she really fucking hammers. I don't really see. These are all old videos. Let's see here. You can kind of see it in this rehearsal one. Just watch her in the background. She's fucking bringing it.
All right.
See, she just hits a lot harder. Anyway,
It's always funny because when you see,
God damn it, Facebook stinks.
whenever you see any performer, whether it's a newer band or even an older band that are doing their kind of rehearsal stuff, you're used to seeing them on stage, all glitzed up in their stage clothes and stuff. But when you see them behind the scenes doing their rehearsal and they're all just like out of makeup and out of their stage clothes, and they're just sort of like
jamming in a circle.
They're all plain Jane and stuff. But that's just how it is, It's just like, oh man, I just rolled out of bed. I'll throw my hair up in a tie, and we'll go down there and we'll just like work out a few tunes. We'll work out the tracks, and we'll see what we come up with.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see what they do this year, because most of the festival dates have been announced, and they ain't on them.
Well, see, this goes back to what you and I talked about a couple of years ago when Plush was announced. It's like, what's the shelf life of Plush? How long do they last?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they going to be a gimmick band? Are they going to do well their first time out just because it's for young talented
girls,
chicks? And so are people going to find them from a longevity standpoint, or is it just going to be a novelty that wears off pretty quickly, or whatever?
I don't think the novelty part is worn. I think people are taking them a lot more serious. I know the musicians are. I've talked to a bunch of musicians because they've played with everybody.
Sure.
I've talked to quite a few musicians that have played with them and toured with them, and every musician I've talked to is like, they're fucking amazing, but they're not getting, that first year their promotional people definitely blew their wad getting them on every fucking tour.
Of course. Did they burn out the market?
Did they run out of money?
I don't know. Did they?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Mariah in a little bit, but she wouldn't tell me that anyway. Honestly, she would not tell me that. But
all business shit. But regardless,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. They keep saying they're going to be announcing something here in the next couple of weeks, and I hope it's soon because all the tours are pretty much getting announced now for the summer,
right?
And I haven't seen their name on anything yet. And, I mean, they've got to stay active if they're going to stay relevant.
Well, again, they have to stay in the eye of the public, whether it's releasing like a single or getting out there or being featured on something, or it's tough. And we've talked about this too many times on the show, where in this day and age, the way that the music industry is, it is really tough to be an up and coming band and actually become something.
It's very hard. And, I mean, the other weird thing for them is they're about due for another record.
Well, how many? They only have the one, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it's been about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been, I mean, they recorded 2 years ago. So they're about due to get in the studio. And I know that they couldn't have because Mariah was out on tour.
Right.
She was out with TSO until, New Year's Day.
Well, I hope she made a bunch of money with TSO.
She did not make a bunch of money with TSO.
What?
Come on.
God damn it. Who do I need to call?
She'd be the newbie on TSO. She ain't making a bunch of money on TSO.
Well, do you think that she made decent money?
I don't know. Honestly, I hope so. I would hope that she did, but as the new person on the tour that's never proven it, She probably got the lowest on the scale.
Well, of course.
And, she might do better. She'd probably do better if she gets asked back, which from all indications she's going to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, once people kind of prove themselves with the TSO thing, which has been going on since 95?
Mm-hmm.
So, 5, 50, 20, 25, 20, 27 years.
Yeah.
She probably would do okay, I would imagine.
Yeah. And I mean, she nailed. I don't know. Did you see any of the TSO video?
Any of that. Pull that up. I'll take a phone call while we're waiting. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
What's happening, boys? It's your drug-addled friend from Southern California. What's happening?
What's going on out there in Southern California? Are you out there scoring a drug deal while you're talking to us, or?
I'm enjoying the afterglow.
Are you? Are you? What is the drug of choice tonight?
Why is this a live phone call right now?
Well, you don't know that to be the case. Are you not?
Prank call.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Chick bands fucking suck.
Do they?
Chris, I love you. You know I love you. You know I appreciate your military service. I love you guys. But fucking girl bands fucking suck. And unless you're Sean Yassault from fucking White Zombie rocking that bass, you get L7 or you get fucking, I mean, even Lita Ford, but come on. I mean, that's like the best you're ever going to do. Girl bands, they suck. And when by the way, one last thing, and I'll get my manager out here. When you were talking about, standing in the circle and they're not done up or nothing like that. Well, there's a little band called Pantera that filmed that fucking video in a circle. All right. 5 minutes alone, I think it was. And those motherfuckers rocked it out. And there wasn't one goddamn, sound like Phil, one goddamn fucking ounce of makeup on those motherfuckers. So these chicks, they're just fucking broads with pussies, dude. And I'm sorry, Chris, that you know them and you're friends with them, so you think that they're like a little better than they are. But they suck. The drummers suck. They just suck. They're girls. Like Dice said, how fucking funny would you be if you came up here? You wouldn't be. And he was right. And you guys just need to come to that fucking conclusion. Okay? So that's my manager waving at me. I got to do another line ski. We'll talk to you boys at another random time. God bless.
Okay.
I remember that video with Pantera, yeah?
Yeah, I remember it, yeah. Of course, it was shot to be a video, not a rehearsal, but okay.
That's so funny. All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you've seen it. It's a couple years old. There's a
Hold on. Shit. Sorry.
See, I'm glad I don't have fucking Facebook. But I watched a documentary this week that it's been out there a few years. It's not a new one, but it's a good one. I discovered it this week and watched it. But have you seen the documentary on Clive Davis?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking amazing dude. I mean, he's been around since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's one of these guys. I don't know if it's his business acumen or he's just gifted with the golden ear or whatever you want to call it. But this guy has picked winners since the late 60s.
Sure.
And he's launched so many bands that that have shaped the American landscape as far as music is concerned, from the 70s bands, from, Chicago to the Eagles to, whatever you consider the ultimate American band.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ones that they were highlighting, if you saw the documentary, is Whitney Houston.
Yeah, sure.
And there's no doubt that Whitney Houston was a talent as far as a singer is concerned, regardless of her personal lifestyle or personal choices or
Sure.
so on and so forth. But when I hear Mariah sing,
yeah,
and I see her perform, and there she just did her thing with TSO.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, just knowing what I know about of Whitney Houston, Whitney has nothing on Mariah Formica. And I know you're going, oh, man,
I don't know about all that. Nothing?
Stretch.
Nothing? Come on.
That's my opinion. It's not fact. It's my opinion. I would rather listen to Mariah Formica sing over and above Whitney Houston.
Well, I would too, but to say that it's not that big of a difference.
Well, I'm not saying Whitney was a hack or anything. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that Mariah, just from what I've seen and heard and things that I've heard, Whitney Houston, same level, in my opinion.
She's up there. I mean, she's universally pretty much regarded as the best female singer out there right now. I mean, obviously, you're not getting a solo on the TSO tour your first time out, unless you're like, there's 10 other girls that are on the tour, and Mariah's the one getting the single, the solo rather.
Right.
So she could clearly sing. And, I've told her that I think she's the best singer out there today. She's just got to do it for a while. That's going to be the biggest obstacle she has is this shitty fucking industry right now.
It's true.
I hate to think it, but even for chick singers or chick bands, it's kind of peaked. It really has. It peaked with Hailstorm, and now it's kind of on the downslide again. It's not as special of a thing anymore because there's so many female singers out there of all different styles, everything from death metal to crooning type stuff.
Yeah, like Arch Enemy, obviously.
Yeah.
Evanescence and
Nervosa. There's all kinds.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's tons of them out there now. And as much as I'm a friend of Mariah, and I really do enjoy Plush and whatnot, they're not even the biggest of the bands that are girl bands that came up at the same time. That band, The Warning, is bigger than they are by a lot. By a hell of a lot, because they're international. I don't know if you're familiar with The Warning at all, but
what is that?
It's a 3-piece chick band.
Okay.
It's a 3-piece chick band that's out right now, and they have one record out as well.
They're not a Queensryche cover band or something.
No. They're look them up real quick. It's just called The Warning, the band.
The Warning.
No, it's not that band.
No, it's not that one.
No. I think their album might be called Error, I think.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a huge fan of them, but
The Warning.
The Warning.
All right.
But based on what you base numbers on these days, they're a lot bigger than Plush.
All right, there they are. All right. Boy, what a weird with Grandson and Zero. All right. Play a little of them. Not familiar with them at all. Well, it looks like they've been around a little while.
Not too long, though. A few years.
Yeah. Looks like they may have been around as early as 2017, maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Check this out. Oh, I see they've done some covers too. They did like Enter Sandman and shit.
Sure.
All right. Let me see here. This one is their biggest sounding song. It's called Choke.
And what's the number of plays on it?
4,718,000.
And I'll bet you that Plush does not have a single song that's at 1 million.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Here we are.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. To read that voice is overpriced, but honest and directly don't cry. Just let me down. Let me down. Let me dive in, sinking deeper, push my head, draw me till I drown. Let me drown.
All right. I mean, fair enough singer, but she doesn't reach anywhere near close to the ranges that Mariah does.
No, not at all. But my point is if there's a choice to be made, clearly people are choosing that band right now.
Because they're aware of it.
They're not that much bigger. I mean, I only became aware of them in the last 2 years. I know they've had stuff out, like you were saying, a little bit before that, but I'm only aware of them from the pandemic up.
And how were you aware of them? How did they come into your, how did they get your attention?
I think I heard that song on a playlist, the one that you just played.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I just heard that. I was playing a playlist that Plush was in, and that came on. I was like, all right, it's kind of similar, sort of the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, here's this band doing Enter Sandman.
Okay.
It's like, I'm always curious as to why everybody has to do covers. It's just bizarre.
Quick hits.
I guess, but it's just like, okay. I mean, again, stand on your own merits. Why are you covering songs?
Because they got to get exposed. And
I
there's no radio or TV to expose them now.
All right. Well, here's the Warning doing Enter Sandman.
Okay.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son.
Yeah, that stinks.
What the hell is that?
That stinks. Don't do covers.
I agree.
Yeah, don't do covers.
All right.
Now look up Plush real quick though, and see what their biggest song is.
So where are these girls from?
Like Brazil or somewhere.
Okay.
They're like not here. I know that. I'm not sure where they're from. I think it's Brazil.
All right.
They are from Mexico. 3 Mexican sisters.
Okay. These are sisters?
Yeah, they're all 3. Danielle, Paulina, and Alexandra, I guess, or Alejandra.
All right. All right. Out of the three sisters, which is the most bangable out of that picture?
Probably the blonde.
The one on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my choice.
As a guy, we don't care about their artistry. We just want to say,
Yeah.
which one of you are the most bangable?
Well, it's really between these two. This one looks too skinny.
Right.
It's between these two, and can't really tell what this one looks like. So I'll go with this one.
So funny. The hate song
Yeah.
for Plush, it's almost reaching 2 million.
Okay. That's not bad.
1,708,000.
Okay. And then there's a huge drop, I'm assuming, to Will Not Win or
Well,
Athena.
the next highest song on their catalog is Athena, which is 323,000,
and that's with weekly television play.
yeah. And that now what did they get on for TV?
That song, the Athena song, is the official intro song of the wrestler Athena on AEW.
Oh, nice.
So every either Wednesday or Friday, that song is played on TV.
Okay. And then the next highest one is Better Off Alone, which is almost at 300,000.
Which is the best of the three songs, but that's a jam. I like
Okay.
that tune. Yeah, but I mean that's a huge drop off from 2 million or 1.8 to 300,000.
Right.
Means that Hate was the first single and it did real well, but they didn't follow. Even with all that touring that they did for a solid year, and they got 300,000 plays on the next two singles. It's not a lot.
Well, again, what does it take for people to remember your band?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. There were so many bands out there because of the digital age. Everybody and their brother can put out a album or release their songs via the Spotify or YouTube or whatever. And it's just like, how do you remember one of them?
Sure.
Because, and this goes back to the discussion we've had, many times, that prior to the internet, prior to, being able to tap into so many different bands or music, we accepted whatever our commercial radio station or MTV fed us.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really, aside from going to the record store and taking a gamble on buying a new album from an unknown band, we did not discover too many bands. We just said, oh, well, this is on the radio, so this must be good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different ball game now. It really is different. I think Plush hurt themselves by firing or quitting or whatever happened with Brooke, because she was like model hot.
Okay. Do you think that had an effect?
I absolutely think that had an effect.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because she was also of the four, she was, and again, this is into the modern day, she was by far the biggest name of the four.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So I would have never known that.
Oh yeah. Social media wise, she has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers on her. If you look her up on YouTube on her drum videos,
yeah,
their drum videos are screen name or whatever tag Rock Angel. They're all like several 100,000 to millions of plays for all of her drum videos.
Is that right?
She was definitely the bigger name of the two, far bigger than Mariah.
Is that a fact?
And that's why it was a great get when Mariah put the band together and got her to be the drummer.
Okay.
And, they went from her to Faith, who seems like she might be a better drummer.
Okay.
She's fresh out of high school. She literally graduated and then was on the Alice in Chains tour, like right after graduation. She's like 19 or 18 or something. So, it really, I think it did hurt him some.
Huh. Interesting. Well, you would think that a majority of people who may or may not hear of Plush may have seen them live opening for one of these shows or tours or whatever.
Well, I don't know. And just me talking, I'm just shooting the shit really. And just from knowing bands that have played in front of bands like this, like bigger bands and tours and whatever, I'm not a believer anymore that like in the 80s and the 90s, where if you got that big tour, that it was that big a deal.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be helping at all because they've opened for Slash, right?
Slash, Wolfgang Van Halen, Evanescence, Hailstorm, Seven Dust, and Alice in Chains.
And it's only netted them less than 2 million plays on one of their songs.
Yeah.
By way of Spotify anyway.
Yeah. So how important is them playing?
That's a lot of money to spend, especially if it's a buy-on thing.
And I mean, let's be honest, they had to have played 100 shows last year.
You would think.
If not more, if not 150.
Yeah, because as soon as one tour support ended, they were on another one right away.
Yeah. So you're literally getting 100 plays per gig. If you're going by the plays.
Right.
If they play, or what, not 100. Here comes Chris Math again. Sorry, folks. Whatever that'd be, like 1,000 plays.
Yeah, but still, it's not a whole lot.
Not a ton. And not what you would hope. It's not, I mean, you would hope that if you played with that many big bands that people would be discovering your band.
So what do you think? What is your opinion as far as what do you think drives someone to go, I need to go discover this band, whoever it is, whether it's these girls or whomever. It's just like who and again, this goes back to the whole documentary. If you haven't seen it, go look at it, the whole Clive Davis documentary.
Sure.
I think it came out in 2017, so it's not new, but it's been around. But boy, it's fantastic. But how does a band that in this day and age actually get to be noticed over and all above all the other bands out there?
That is the $1 million question.
That's a tough one because everybody can be seen now. Everybody can be seen on YouTube. Everybody can be heard on Spotify. Everybody can be heard anywhere. And it's just like you have to find them or discover them, or they have to do something memorable if they're opening up a show for, we mentioned Plush opening up for Seven Dust or a Slash. Slash, what was he going under?
Slash, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Okay, under that or whatever show to make you want to go. I remember these guys or girls. I need to go check them out.
Yeah, it's got to be. You gotta have a song that absolutely connects with that audience.
Yeah,
and then you got to have really good merch to match it. Because
you think the merch thing is a big
deal?
Thing? Really?
I do. I think the merch. I think if you hear a good song, if you hear a really good song by a band you don't know,
right?
You go to the merch table and they got a killer T-shirt or a killer hat or whatever. You're more than likely to buy it, and then you're willing to support the band. And I saw that in play the previous Slash tour with Dirty Honey. Dirty Honey was murdering. When I saw them with Slash, they murdered the crowd, and no one knew who they were. There was like me and 3 other people that seemed to know anything about Dirty Honey when they hit the stage. And by the end, everybody was just rocking. And then right after, we went out to the merch table, and there was a ton of people there buying merch. They just went out and they liked the band, and they caught 30, 40, 50 people right there on the spot that bought a T-shirt or bought a CD or whatever. The other thing these bands got to do is they got to give the music away. As much as the record company don't want to hear that, they're giving it away anyway on fucking YouTube. A band like Plush should have 10,000 fucking thumb drives with all their videos on them and their MP3s, at every show. They should be throwing them out instead of picks.
Well, again,
Here, boom.
that takes money, though.
It takes some. Takes time. Takes effort.
Sure. Well, since you mentioned Dirty Honey,
Yeah.
on Spotify, their number one song is When I'm Gone.
Yeah.
And that currently has 17 million plays.
Mm-hmm. Which is not a ton. I mean, it's a good amount, but it's not a ton. That's like the big, you even know that song. That's the one we play all the time.
It's a Zeppelin song.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the one that he even sang in the ID that we have.
It's very Zeppelin-y.
Mm-hmm.
And then their next highest tune that follows that doesn't even have half the plays, which is California Dreamin'.
Yeah.
Which is at like, oh, wait a minute. No, I take back Rollin' Sevens.
Rollin' Sevens probably has a bunch of hits too, right?
Which has 8 million.
Yeah.
So it's not even half.
Yeah. And that's and again, they toured with Slash, then they toured for a full fucking summer with the Black Crowes. Perfect tour for them.
Yeah.
Not a ton. It's tough to break now. Because there's nowhere to break to.
Yeah, because there's no one to spoon feed you that these guys are the next greatest thing coming down the pike, and you go, oh well, I guess I should have that. I guess this is where influencers come into play.
I guess.
Well, I like Dirty Honey. You should too.
Yeah. The problem though is that another problem that these kind of bands that we're talking about have, their audience is not their age. You know, Dirty Honey especially, their audience is our age.
Right.
And most people that are our age, they're douchey about new music. They're not going to listen to new music. They're like, why would I listen to that? I'll just listen to Led Zeppelin.
Right.
They're not going to listen to Dirty Honey. They're not going to listen to Greta Van Fleet. They're going to say, fuck it, I'll just go right to the source.
Speaking of Greta, let's see what they're doing.
I bet their numbers for that last album are way down.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Highway Tune, which is what everybody knows them for because everybody, oh, this is Led Zeppelin's Second Coming.
Yeah.
172 million.
It's a lot.
Then it drops down to Black Smoke Rising, which is at 117 million.
Still a lot.
It is a lot, but that's a drop of 60 million plays between the top and the second.
Yeah. I'm curious what the new songs have from the latest album.
All right. What is the latest? The latest album is The Battle at what is this called? The Battle at Garden's Gate.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like it.
All right. Looks like there's a few of their songs on here, and they're only like 42,000.
Yeah.
21,000, 15,000.
So it's over.
Yeah. They peaked at 179 million plays on Highway Tune, which is this one, which is, you know, for a lot of people who heard it for the first time, they were just like, holy shit, this is Led Zeppelin revisited.
Mm-hmm.
Plus they had that TV commercial, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people like the whole Robert Plant scream.
Yeah. Except for Dee Snider, who doesn't find him to be a good performer.
All right. But regardless of that, but then like I said, the next highest play for Greta Van Fleet is Black Smoke Rising.
Yeah.
At 117 million.
good too.
Little there was a tower where they look out to the line to see the people quickly passing by.
All right. And then, you know, a big drop of another 14 million brings you down to a song called Safari Song.
Another good song. That's a good song too.
Again, with the Robert
Plant. I don't care what anybody says. I like Greta Van Fleet.
I mean, I like them, but my point is, and I'm going to just reiterate your point, is that once that whole novelty wore off, it was just like, then what happens?
Yeah, then it's over.
Because after Safari Song at 103 million, it drops down to Heat Above. Let's see, what's the next one here? Yes, Heat Above from their latest release. And it's at 68 million. So it drops in half almost. This is one of the newer ones, I guess. This is very Black Crows-ish.
Yeah.
Sorrows of the earth, may our tears and rain wash down the bay. This is when life is worth, when the fire's still burning, rage all around. Can you hear that dreadful sound? Fire's still burning on the ground.
So I guess if you got Geddy Lee to sing for the Black Crows,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I dig them though. I don't care. I know a lot of people don't like them, and they keep saying, like Jacqueline chat room, Greta Van Fleet sucks monkey cock. Led Zeppelin wannabe fucks. Okay, fair enough. But I'll take this over what the original lead singer of Led Zeppelin is doing now. That Alison Krauss bullshit. I'll take this over that.
yeah.
This at least sounds like rock.
Yeah. It's very they've kind of like they're definitely in that whole blues rock vein.
But I think that wave, I think it might be dying too. Like even a year ago, that shit. Remember how hot that was?
Yeah, it was a wave. It certainly was a wave because people were just like, oh man, it's nostalgic. It's a revisiting back in time and all that. But again, just looking at these numbers, I'm not seeing anything that's earth shattering.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of over. That whole, the Greta Van Fleet, Dirty Honey, Joyous Wolf, all those bands, they've all just kind of gone away. Even Rival Sons. Sons.
They were hot for a while.
They were hot. Now their best move was getting their shit into a fucking GMC commercial.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that seems to be the way that any of these bands are going to make any money, is if they're lucky enough to get their music placed in a commercial.
Well, I mean, that's the big get for Rival Sons right now, is that they're in that GMC commercial. I think it's GMC that plays all the time in the football. And you certainly recognize them. You certainly recognize Rival Sons because of that, but they're, musically, what happened to them? They, what happened to Alabama Shakes that was big for like 30 seconds. Now they're like long gone. There was quite a few of those bands that came up for a minute, but they're gone.
Yep. Blue Pills.
Yeah, Blues Pills. Yeah. Another great band. Where'd they go? There was a lot of them that all came up at once, and they're all kind of gone.
I agree. All right. Well, I say we take a break, come back, finish up the show, get the hell out of here.
All right. Sounds good.
But since you mentioned Dirty Honey, I'll let you pick a Dirty Honey tune.
I'll go with Rolling Sevens. I love that tune.
All right. We're going to play a few tunes. We'll come back, wrap it up, get out for the week. So here it is. It's Dirty Honey exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey, it's Mark from Dirty.
Thanks for checking out this episode of The Classic Metal Show. Get all of our episodes uncensored at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. Join us weekly from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern at www.cmsradio.net. Participate in the live chat room at www.chatandkill.com. Once again, thank you for checking out The Classic Metal Show with Neely and Chris. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.